Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to do a deck review. Haven't done one of these in a while, but this is the Tendril deck. This is one of those decks that was funded through Kickstarter. The designer, really nice guy, his name's Carpenter, he was able to raise a lot of money to produce this deck, and I think it's great. I'm a really big fan of this whole crowdfunding trend that's going on these days. I think it's amazing that such large projects can be accomplished without the backing of a company or without the need for a big bank or anything like that. So I automatically like this deck because it's a symbol for what just one individual can accomplish and produce. But anyways, let's talk about the cards. So here's the box. It's dark on the front and then really colorful and bright on the back, so that's an interesting contrast there. If we take a look at the cards, I should mention that the card box does have a little built-in reveal right there, Queen of Diamonds. I don't know if you guys use that kind of thing or not, but take a look at this back design. Definitely very unique, very custom, very different from what you're used to seeing on a standard back design. So a few things to notice here. It's kind of dark around the edges. It's got the white border and then the black border inside of it, and then really bright in the middle. So there's a lot of color, a lot of variation of color, and it makes it really stand out, that's for sure. And then these decorative lines that you see on the top, and well, actually all over, they look very haphazard and random, but it's actually a symmetrical card design. So it looks the same this way as it does this way. Okay, so it's not a one-way deck. All right, and I guess the last thing to talk about is it has a thinner border than your standard card, and I really like that. I really hope that a lot of decks in the future will start to implement this thin border. And the reason is it makes fans just look really good. It makes fans look very consistent and very big, right? And I'm just really liking the thinness of that border. Okay, so that's the back design. But the really unique design factor element is actually the faces. Take a look at this. Pretty crazy, huh? So let's just pull out a card. A black background with a white border. Okay, and the logic behind this is that the designer, he wanted to create a dark themed deck that doesn't have a lot of the common drawbacks that you see with a dark themed deck. So for example, if you have a deck with a black border, what happens is the edges, they'll start to chip and become kind of ashy. I can actually show you. Let me see if I have a black border deck laying around. So basically the deck starts to look worn out pretty soon, actually. So for example, this is an Artifice deck, black border. You'll see how the edges, they become kind of white, and it just looks old. I don't know if you can really see that on camera very well, but to my eyes, it just looks like an old deck, but it's not. This is a relatively new deck. So it becomes ashy like that, and it's just it's an aesthetic thing. So having a white border on both the back and the face solves that problem. The cards look like they're in good condition for a longer period of time. And the second thing is, if you like to do card tricks or card tricks that require a reversed card in the deck, you can do that with this deck, and that card will still remain hidden both face down and face up. Okay, so that's the second thing. Let me just show you some of the cards that it comes with. First is a double backer. This is pretty common in a lot of custom decks these days. Then we have jokers. This deck has a Mayan theme, if you haven't picked up on that yet, so that's why we have jokers that look like this. It's a neat Mayan symbol. Alright, and here's a gaff card. So it's basically the inverse of the standard 10 of spades. Let me pull that out real quick. The background color is flipped. I can't find the 10 of spades right now, but here's the 10 of clubs. You get the idea. So you could do a neat color change with that. And let me show you the ace of spades. So very colorful. Almost looks like it's glowing, you know. Some nice detail in there. And also the court cards are definitely worth talking about here. Let me just pull out a few of them. So it is a simplified design of the court card. There's less detail, but as you can tell, very colorful, and kind of has that neon look to it. Okay, so that's the aesthetics of the deck. I like it. You know, I think it's very different. It's rethinking the standard design of cards in a lot of ways. So I always appreciate that. For performing, if you're actually going to go out there and show people card tricks, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm one of those people who feel that a lot of the power behind a deck of cards in Magic is that it's such a common and relatable prop. People can associate with a deck of cards. So the further you stray away from the standard design elements of a deck of cards, the less powerful of a prop it becomes. I know some people disagree with that. I tend to agree with it in most cases. So this is definitely a very eye-catching deck. It's, you know, very very different, very unique. So, you know, I wouldn't want people to question the cards. Like after they pick it, they'd be like, "Why does it look like this?" You know. So it's just one less thing to worry about. But as a card collector, I absolutely love this deck. It's so different from any other deck that I have. It looks cool. It's just a lot of fun to look at. And but I mean, you know, you should make your own decision and see if you like it or not. So that's the design aspect of the deck. In terms of handling, this deck really shines a lot. It has that new magic finish that's going around, so it's super slick, very smooth, and I can already tell that it's going to maintain its handling for a long time to come. The thickness of the stock is, you know, exactly what I like. Nice and springy right out of the box, and yeah, really ranks very high in terms of quality and card handling. So I hope this deck review helps. If you're interested in getting this deck, you can get them at the Encarderd store. I'll put a link down in the description box below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.